Before the world even gets a chance to speak to you, you need to speak to yourself. Because the first voice you hear each day shouldn't be your phone, your boss, or even the echoes of someone else's expectations. It should be the voice of your own truth, that still, steady, grounded part of you that remembers who you are before the noise begins. Most people wake up and instantly react. They reach for the chaos. They scroll, compare, worry, plan, and by the time they've brushed their teeth, the world has already robbed them of their peace. But not you, not anymore. You see, there's a moment, a sacred space, just after your eyes open, where your soul is listening. That's the moment you must take control of the conversation in your mind. That's when you say, asterisk, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, this is what I refuse to carry from yesterday. Asterisk, you don't need permission to speak life into yourself. You don't need applause, approval, or even proof. You just need discipline, the discipline to tell the truth before doubt tries to rewrite it. Because your truth isn't based on how you feel. It's based on what you know, deep down, about your value, your worth, your purpose. Some of you have been living too long by other people's narratives. You've been told you're not enough. You've been told you're too late, too broken, too behind. But let me tell you something. If God woke you up this morning, you're still in the fight. That means you still have power. That means there's still something in you that the world hasn't seen yet. So speak from that place that remembers every battle you've survived, every mountain you've climbed, every moment you were supposed to break but didn't. And when that voice of fear creeps in, when anxiety whispers, asterisk, you can't handle this, asterisk, you say, asterisk, I've handled worse. I've walked through storms and came out soaked in wisdom. I've buried old versions of myself and resurrected stronger. Asterisk, that's your truth. Start your day with it, because if you don't command your thoughts, they'll wander. If you don't choose your focus, the world will choose it for you. And trust me, the world is not kind to the unfocused. It will chew up your peace and spit out confusion. But if you start your day grounded, speaking words that restore, words that align, words that protect, then no matter what comes at you, you'll meet it with clarity. You'll meet it with calm. You'll meet it with truth. And that truth will carry you farther than talent, timing, or applause ever could. Every word you speak is either building you or breaking you. And the most dangerous thing about negative self-talk is that most of the time we don't even realize we're doing it. It slips in quietly, a thought here, a doubt there. Asterisk, I'm not ready. Asterisk, asterisk. I always mess this up. Asterisk, asterisk. I'll probably fail again. Asterisk. And before you've even had your coffee, you've handed your power over to fear without even noticing it. But when you make a habit of speaking life into yourself, when you decide that your voice will be your weapon and your shield, something changes. You stop waiting for someone else to encourage you, and you realize your words are your responsibility. That's what it means when I say affirmation is activation, because you're not just saying nice things. You're turning on a part of yourself that was quiet. You're waking up the warrior. You're telling your mind, asterisk, this is where we're headed. Now get in line. Asterisk, you see, your words are instructions. They direct your energy. They send signals to your nervous system. When you say, asterisk, I am disciplined, asterisk, your body hears it. Your habits start shifting when you say, asterisk, I am focused. Asterisk, distractions lose their grip. When you say, asterisk, I am valuable, asterisk, you stop settling for relationships, jobs, and environments that treat you like you're not. That's not motivation, that's transformation. And no, it doesn't always feel true at first. That's okay. You're not affirming your current feelings. You're affirming your higher identity. There's a difference. You're speaking to who you're becoming, not just who you've been. That's why affirmations work. They don't deny reality, they reshape it. One word at a time, one declaration at a time, one morning at a time. The world is always trying to program you. The media, the trauma, the people who didn't believe in you. So if you're not intentionally speaking truth over your life, you're unintentionally agreeing with every lie that's ever tried to shrink you. And that's not just dangerous, it's devastating. Because eventually, you'll start living according to what you never even challenged. But when you start your day with intentional, aligned, powerful affirmations, you're drawing a line. You're saying, asterisk, this is who I am. This is what I will not forget today. Asterisk, some people say it's silly. They think speaking to yourself in the mirror is weak. But what's truly weak is letting your day be led by fear. What's weak is staying silent when your spirit is crying out for direction. So speak up. Remind yourself that you're not here by accident. You're not empty, you're not broken, you're becoming. And becoming requires bold words even on quiet mornings. Because the moment you open your mouth and speak truth, your mind follows, your spirit responds, and your entire day shifts. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is reach for their phone, not to connect with their soul, but to connect with stress. Notifications, emails, the weight of expectations before they've even taken a full breath. Their feet haven't even touched the floor, and already they're overwhelmed by a schedule they didn't spiritually prepare for. That's how you lose yourself before the day even begins. That's how you walk into situations anxious, reactive, and out of alignment with your purpose. You have to understand, before you prepare your schedule, you need to prepare your spirit. Because if your heart is chaotic, your calendar will be too. You'll move fast, but not with focus. You'll get things done, but not the things that truly matter. You'll feel busy, but still feel empty. The truth is, your external world is only as strong as your internal foundation. And if you don't build that foundation intentionally each morning, life will build something for you. Something unstable, something reactive, something rooted in fear and performance instead of peace and purpose. There's a reason the first moments of your day matter so much. That early space before the rush is where clarity lives. That's where you can speak to God without noise, where you can hear your own voice without interruption. You have to create a space where you remind yourself, asterisk, I'm not just here to survive this day, I'm here to steward it. Asterisk, that shift in mindset doesn't come from a to-do list. It comes from stillness. It comes from prayer. It comes from reminding your soul, asterisk, peace is my priority, not just productivity. Asterisk, because it's very possible to meet every deadline and still miss your destiny. It's possible to cross off every task and still feel like something's off. That's what happens when you don't prepare your spirit. You go through the motions, you perform well, but your heart isn't in it. And eventually that catches up to you. Burnout is not just about doing too much. It's about doing things disconnected from your deeper why. So every morning, before you scroll, before you run, before you respond, return to center, breathe. Pray, reflect, speak your affirmations with intentionality. Tell yourself the truth before the world tries to confuse you. Asterisk, I am grounded, I am chosen. I am prepared for everything this day holds, not because I know the plan, but because I trust the process. Asterisk, that's a spirit that can't be shaken. That's a schedule that serves your soul, not just your ambition. If you don't lead your day will lead you. And it's much easier to build from a place of peace than to clean up a mess made in panic. Don't wait for the storm to arrive before you prepare your mindset. You've got to speak to the battle asterisk before asterisk it shows up. Every day holds something unexpected. A conversation that triggers you. A moment that tempts you to revert back to the old version of yourself. A delay, a disappointment, a door that slams shut in your face. And the question isn't whether the challenge is coming. It's whether you'll be ready when it does. That's why your words in the morning matter. They're not just casual statements. They're armor, they're training, they're preparation. Because what you say to yourself when life is still, quiet, determines how you'll respond when life gets loud. If the only time you start speaking courage is in the middle of the fight, you're already late. But when you wake up and say, asterisk, I can handle whatever this day brings. I've been through worse and come out stronger. My peace is not for sale. My worth is not negotiable. Asterisk, you're not just speaking into thin air. You're building something inside you. You're creating an inner world so stable, the outside world can't shake it. Think about a soldier. He doesn't train when the war starts. He trains in silence, in discipline, in routine. So when the heat hits, his body knows what to do. That's you. That's what these affirmations are. They're spiritual muscle memory. They teach your mind to rise instead of retreat, to respond instead of react, to choose faith over fear, asterisk before asterisk fear even steps into the room. Too many of us are reactive. We wait until the pressure is unbearable before we try to find peace. But peace isn't something you find in the storm, it's something you carry into it. That's why when you start your morning speaking life over yourself, you're not just trying to feel better, you're making yourself better. You're telling your soul, asterisk, no matter what shows up today, I've already shown up for myself. Asterisk, that's power. And look, the enemy doesn't wait. Life doesn't wait. So why should you? Why wait for the panic attack to start breathing? Why wait for the rejection to remind yourself you're enough? Why wait for betrayal to remember your worth? Start asterisk now asterisk. Speak now, stand now, declare now, because when the fire comes, and it will, you don't want to asterisk start asterisk building your shelter. You want to already be standing inside it. This is about readiness. This is about spiritual conditioning. It's about becoming so grounded that even when the winds pick up, you don't sway. You bend, but you don't break. Because you've already settled the matter within. You've already won the battle in your mind, so nothing outside of you can conquer what's already been claimed inside you. That's why you speak to the battle before it even dares to speak to you. You've got to train your mind like a warrior, not a victim. And that starts the moment you wake up. See, a victim waits for life to hand them something better. A warrior builds something better from what life hands them. That shift in perspective is everything. Because if you carry a defeated mindset, even your blessings will feel like burdens. But when you think like a warrior, even your burdens can become building blocks. Every morning is a chance to discipline your thoughts, to command your focus. Not just hope it shows up. Don't just let your mind wander into worry, self-pity, or old pain. Don't allow fear to be the first voice in the room. Train your mind to stay on mission. And you do that with intentionality by speaking life, by controlling your state, by reminding yourself that weakness is not your identity. It's a moment that passes when you stand up inside yourself. A warrior doesn't deny their wounds. They train through them. They don't pretend life is easy. They prepare for when it isn't. You've got to build that inner strength, not just for the days when everything goes right, but for the moments when it all falls apart. Because how you talk to yourself during difficulty determines how long you stay in it. That's why your morning declarations are not motivational fluff. They're mental conditioning. When you say, asterisk, I don't shrink back, I stand tall, asterisk, you're not hyping yourself up. You're remembering what you've already survived. You're reminding your nervous system, asterisk, we've been through pain before, and we're still here. Asterisk, it's not about being fearless. It's about being committed to growth, to peace, to rising again no matter how many times life knocks you down. A victim mindset asks, asterisk, why is this happening to me? Asterisk, but a warrior mindset asks, asterisk, what is this teaching me? Asterisk, that question changes everything. It keeps you alert. It keeps you focused on purpose instead of pain. And it puts you back in the seat of power. Because here's the truth, life doesn't owe you peace, clarity, or fairness. You've got to cultivate that from the inside. That's what makes a warrior different. They don't need ideal conditions to thrive. They create conditions within themselves that can't be touched by the outside world. So even when circumstances are uncertain, the mind is steady. Even when people disappoint you, your identity doesn't waver. Even when the path is dark, your vision remains clear. And that clarity, it comes from consistency. From doing the hard thing every morning when nobody's watching. From choosing to speak strength even when you feel weak. From standing guard at the gates of your mind and refusing to let anything in that doesn't serve your destiny. So say it out loud, say it with fire, asterisk, asterisk. I am not a victim, I am built for this. Asterisk, asterisk, every morning is a covenant renewal. Not just with your schedule or your responsibilities, but with your identity, your purpose, and your creator. When your eyes open and your soul takes that first conscious breath, you're not just waking up. You're being invited to realign, to remember, to recommit to the person you said you wanted to become. That's sacred. That's not just routine, that's ritual. See, a covenant is a binding agreement. It's not based on feelings. It's not based on mood. It's based on intention, on commitment, on identity. And every time you declare those affirmations, every time you speak life into yourself before the world gets a say, what you're really doing is renewing that covenant. Saying, asterisk, a yes, I still choose to walk in purpose. I still choose peace over pressure. I still choose growth over comfort. Asterisk, because the world is going to offer you distractions. It's going to hand you reasons to forget who you are, who you're called to be. That's why this morning moment is not optional, it's essential. You're not just repeating phrases to feel better. You're sealing your soul to the truth before lies can take root. You're choosing to partner with heaven's perspective, not your emotions, not your trauma, not your fears. And I know some mornings it's harder than others. Some mornings you don't feel strong. You don't feel chosen. You don't feel like declaring anything, but that's exactly when you must, because a covenant is tested in the tension. That's when it matters most. When you're tired, but you speak strength. When you're uncertain, but you speak clarity. When you feel alone, but you declare, asterisk, I am held, I am covered, I am not doing this by myself. Asterisk, that's where real change happens. In those quiet, faithful choices, to say what you asterisk know asterisk, not what you asterisk feel asterisk, that's not denial, that's alignment. That's what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. You're not waiting on the day to be good in order to be grateful. You're not waiting on your situation to shift before you stand in truth. You're choosing to be rooted before the wind starts blowing. You're choosing to trust that today still holds purpose, because asterisk, you asterisk, still hold purpose. Don't underestimate the power of that moment. The power of saying asterisk, I'm still here, I'm still trying, I'm still believing, asterisk, even if your voice shakes, even if your heart is heavy, that covenant still stands. God hasn't changed his mind about you, so don't change your mind about what he placed inside you. Renew the promise. Renew the mindset. Renew the commitment to show up even if it's messy, even if it's slow, even if it's quiet. Because every morning you do that, you win before the world even has a chance to take a swing at you. And that, right there, is how you change your life.